We're acting like punks. We think that forgiveness means whatever they did, we have to forgive them regardless of what our hearts needs. Guys, if someone hurt you once, twice, three times, I'm sorry, what are they doing in your life? Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Emirates podcast. I'm your host, Emirates Victoria, and today we are going to continue where we left off on episode 4. So, in the next 4 episodes, we are going to talk about how you're putting yourself first now that you are an asset. Now that you have a standard which is putting yourself first, a standard which is you are going to bring heaven on earth. We are no longer going to accept suffering. We are no longer going to accept anything that's not good for us. So, in the next 4 episodes, we are going to tackle on that. But this episode, we're going to talk about boundaries. And in order for me to talk about boundaries, I need to just explain to you the last episode. In the last episode, we talked about how church was made for control. So, the church came and controlled, right? It's through church, it's through the Bible that slavery exists, okay? And if you understand the Bible, you also understand that it's the winner that writes the story, okay? The winner always writes the story, but the winner this time, they did not know what they were writing about. So they took ancient texts, a lot of texts in the Bible actually comes from ancient Kemet, and it also came from the Ethiopian Bible. So they just took stuff that they themselves did not understand, but they took it because it could be translated in a literal term. But the Bible was not created for you to read it and understand it literally. That's why we have to pray before we read the Bible, because we have to invite the spirit of discernment that would guide us through to the truth, because not everything in the Bible is true. So, today I'm going to talk about boundaries. And the funny thing about boundaries is the Bible does not teach you about boundaries. The Bible wants you to give yourself away. The Bible told you that by following Jesus, which I do not understand, okay? How people think that the Jesus in the Bible is the actual way of life, because a lot of people think that they have to just give themselves and be at the service of others all the time without really thinking. And that's the issue with us Black people. We took it literally. But listen, Jesus had standards, and Jesus came to say to put yourself first. And he was actually against the church and the government. But he definitely told people, listen, give whatever is for the government to the government, but give whatever it is to me. And the government back then, they wanted taxes, right? And today, the government is the same thing, okay? But the issue here is that when Jesus came to tell people to put themselves first, he came to tell them that the way to God is through you. It's not through Jesus. All right? The way through God is through yourself. Jesus even said that the kingdom of God is within you and it's also outside of you. All right? Because Jesus understood that when you go in yourself and you glorify God and you find this kingdom in yourself, automatically the world will mirror it. In last episode, I explained to you guys how everything comes from the source, everything comes from the spirit. So anytime that you think a negative thing or something like that, it manifests. The spirit has no control, like it just wants to please you. So it does not know what's good or bad. So when you consciously say bad things about yourself, then your subconscious mind is like, bet we are stupid, you know? So those are the things that you have to understand. Now, when I just love giving you a little background story, because I did it in last episode where I told you how Moses was actually part of the royal family in ancient Kemet, right? So he had the 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 knowledge of a grade 3 student. right? Because ancient Kemet, they lived to embody God on earth. They lived to become God and goddesses on earth. So, where was Jesus in the first years of his life? I don't know exactly when he reappeared, but Jesus, if you look, he was actually studying in Egypt. He was studying in Egypt, and he also went in, like, I think it's East India, things like that, to study. But you have to understand that back in his days, the Egyptian religion was the religion that was actually going on, right? But Jesus, he went to his people, the people where, you know, he went back to explain to them, because these people were only living with their 10% logic. And so he came and said to these people that, hey, the kingdom of God, your salvation is through you, right? You have the power to liberate yourself and stuff like that. Now, if there's one person ahead up there that needs these people to pay taxes, that needs them to worry, to be on survival mode so that they can become rich, what they will do, they will kill the threat, right? So Jesus was a threat. And like I said in last episode, it's the winner that writes the story. In the Bible, it says that it is the Jews that killed Jesus. But guys, that's not true. How can the people that love Jesus would kill him? And also, how come James the Just, which is Jesus' brother, he went and was hiding with the Jews, right? So instead of blaming, you want people to love you, right? So you wouldn't say that, oh, I killed you, I killed your savior. You would blame it on someone else. So when you read the Bible that way, you have to understand that this Bible was written for a specific purpose. Okay? Now, another thing is, if you look at the Bible, you only see these four gospels that actually talks about, Jesus in the story, and then the rest, it's Paul, a random person that came to kill the Christians and then suddenly became holy, and he wanted to, convert and all that. But if we look at that, we know the missionaries were coming before the conqueror, right? Came to soften the heart, and then the conquerors would come to steal the gold. And in history, it happened most of the time. It's like a cycle. It's a cycle, guys. The thing is, what I love about this world is that it's really easy to understand, because the devil, I'll just call him the devil, it's not really creative. If we say that when you have a calcified pineal gland, your connection with God is broken, then you become 100% logic. So you're not really creative. You will just use the techniques that used to work. And unfortunately, because there was no internet like this, and even with internet, which is really bad now, it happens often. We have the news, that's the new Bible, where it's giving us fake news and we believe it. And what happened is we are creating this reality that they want us to create. And when you understand that, you understand that how how is it that I can literally liberate myself? How can I put boundaries around so that I can literally focus and be a god on earth, a goddess on earth? Because this thing that I'm talking to you about, Jesus died because of it. And another very recent story is Michael Jackson, right? It's the same story. Someone that became super powerful, and now if you listen to the men in the mirror, it's literally about you. Michael Jackson was also telling you that you, it's you. You are the god, the goddess. You have to love yourself. But then again, Michael Jackson also wanted to change the industry. But the devil, because he wants everything for himself, he wants the riches, the money, the everything, killed Michael Jackson. Okay? So you have to understand this. And also what it did was change the skin tone. Jesus' skin tone changed to white. Michael Jackson changed to white. You guys understand that this world was not made for you to be at peace. This world was very much made for you to suffer. And I'm not promising you that when you rediscover yourself, when you finally start understanding and know the truth, you will be at peace. No, it will set you free, but you will be tormented. The danger here is when you are tormented, you rely on external things like weed or alcohol. But those two things are actually, weed actually um, gives you a big fog. It gives you a false sense of like your spirit, right? It's like a glitch that you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm at peace and stuff. But it's actually a fog. You won't be able to understand or listen. And also alcohol is literally a spirit in a bottle. When you drink alcohol, you're actually inviting a spirit in you, right? And so these two things, it's very dangerous, and you have to also consume it when you are actually in a good positive thing, because you're attracting whatever that's gonna come. You're literally no longer having your guard up. All right. And I read the Satan's Bible, and in the Satan Bible it says that the most dangerous state a person can be is boredom. When you're bored, it's easy for someone to cast a spell on you. So listen, this technology that we have, the camera, the everything that we're doing, it functions like a human being. Okay? The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm capable of giving you this registering, and you are still seeing me at a later time, and you're still going to see my vibration. You're going to actually consume this vibration that I'm giving you, right? It's not just the screen, it's the actual energy that I'm giving you. You are consuming that. Okay. So, what does that mean? When you're bored and you're scrolling online, and then you start feeling some type of jealousy, you start feeling bad about yourself, you start feeling sorry for yourself, and suddenly you're depressed. My guy, isn't that a spell? So, what does that mean? When I say set boundaries for yourself, you have to understand that you have to go back to reading the 42 Laws of Ma'at, understand what that means. And once you do understand that, you understand that this ego that you have, it's literally there just to protect you. It's not something that you have to take literal. Your emotions is energy in motion. All right. You have to understand that it's just energy, it's information that you have to take in. The beautiful thing about emotion is when you're jealous, the way you have to see it is your body, your spirit is just telling you that you are capable of reaching that thing. It's capable, it's possible. The reason why it's possible is because you're able to see it. Okay? It's only in your own power, your own faith, your own will to say, I can also get there. I shouldn't be jealous and start putting bad comments on someone else's post. I should actually celebrate with them so that that blessing can come to me. That's what jealousy is. When you're mad, is just say, hey, take a moment. That's that bad spirit, that's your lower self trying to come out. It's the animal self that's trying to come out. So take some time to yourself, and then think about why. Why are you mad? Why are you so angry? you know, because you are capable of controlling these things. You have control over your world. If you think that you don't have control, then you are giving your power away. It's only you yourself, that can finally say to yourself that no, enough is enough. I want a beautiful life. I want to live good. I want to have a house. I want to actually have a family. I want to have this beautiful husband. Why not me, God? When you say these things, and you finally understand that it is possible for you to also have it, you are going to look at yourself differently. You are going to love yourself differently. And It is through this body, this only body, that you're able to manifest. Okay? It's through the spirit that never sleeps, that you're able to manifest. All right. So when you understand that, you have to put some boundaries, boundaries in what you say, boundaries in your action, boundaries in other people too. The brainwash that we had that came with the Bible is to believe without seeing. Believe. Be live. Be live. So believe, it's actually having faith is something that has been lied to you. Okay. So blind faith, let's stop doing that. Okay. Giving the people the benefit of the doubt. Oh, guys, please. We have to understand that even to yourself. And I'm going to give you a big example, and you will also notice it when you do things. For example, you've been wanting to get in shape. All right. Your body is going to be like, yeah, let's get in shape. But you actually have to do what? Pick up something, go to the gym, pick up, like, walk, start walking, start doing some exercise. What is that? Action. You have to put in action. Okay. So I I can come and tell you, hey, I really want to get in shape. I'm going to start dieting. I'm going to work out 5 times a week. I'm going to do all of these things and stuff. And then you're like, that's great, Victoria. Go ahead. You can do this, whatever, and stuff like that. Monday comes, I'm sitting down and I'm not doing it. I'm becoming lazy. What are you going to think about me? You're going to be like, this girl, she's a liar. Stop lying to me. Stop. I don't even want to hear it. It's the same thing as when your friend is in a toxic relationship, and then she's like, I'm going to break up with him. I'm going to break up with him, but she still stays. After a while, you're not going to believe her. You're going to be like, oh, she's just talking. She's all talk. Guys, our spirit works the same way. Our spirit is actually waiting for you to act on it, because when you act on it is when you believe, it's when you have faith, right? So understand that the lie that comes to the Bible is the fact that you have to just believe that Jesus is going to come back, but you haven't even seen it. After so many generations, after so many years, has Jesus come back? No. Can we stop believing in some people that start saying that the end of the world is coming? Because it's not. The end of the world will only happen when you die. That's when the end of your world happened. But the world keeps rolling. All right. So when I talk about boundaries, it means that you have to understand that your spirit also is judging you. Your spirit is also like, okay, so you decided to go and be healthy, but I haven't seen you even touch the gym door. I haven't even seen you go out on a walk. So we are going to be stuck here. It's not going to be manifesting because you don't even have faith in yourself that you can do it, right? So, guys, what does this mean for yourself? Okay. When you decide that you have to put yourself first, it comes with a boundary. The first boundary is never lie to yourself. Never promise or never say things that you're not going to do. Instead of even saying, just do it. All right. When I decided to go back to work out, I didn't start saying I'm gonna go back to work out and stuff. No, I set my alarm for 5:30 or 5:55 because at 6 I have to go in my living room and work out. Okay, and it's automatic. My body's just moving with it. So that's how it works. It's because my body has proof that I'm able to do this. So I am keeping on proving myself, and I'm telling my body, get in shape, give me that nice line, give me that nice booty, give me all of those things. I am doing the part, now do yours. And so what do I see? My body's just changing like this within a month or so, because I have faith in this power. I have faith that I have the power to tell my body, my organs, how to move. But in order for me to do this, I have to prove to my body that I'm able to do my part, which is eating healthy so that I can help, It's all connected, okay? Eating healthy and doing the workout. Guys, I work from home. It's been 6 years. And believe me, I would have been obese by now if I didn't work out. If I didn't have a certain diet, if I didn't look at my calories, I would have been. But I saw that coming. My intuition actually told me, Vicky, if you don't move, girl, then this working from home, mm, something gonna happen. And I listened, but I put some boundaries. A boundary for yourself, it's like a routine. You set a routine for you to do things. And every time you do it, your spirit is like, oh, she's serious. Oh, she's serious. We are doing this. Yes, we are going. Yeah. And I'm going to give you another example quickly. When you want a particular husband or a wife and you start dating, you're not just going to go and date anyone. You have to have a standard, okay? Just how you have a standard for yourself, you have to have a standard for the other person. So, yes, write down what you are looking for and command. Be like, this is the person that I'm looking for. My wife, she's like this, she's like that, she's like this, and this is the person that I want. Not just physically, guys. Let's stop looking at the physical. Let's also look at the internal, okay? Your spirit will be like, bet we are going to go and find this wife of yours. She's gonna bring out your past, your ex, and you're gonna be like, oh, tempting, but it is your job to say, nope, that's not the one. And then it's going to give you another person. That person might have 30% of what you're looking for, but there's that one non-negotiable that you really, really don't want to deal with. So what happened? You have to literally be like, I'm sorry, this is not working out. I'm actually looking for something else. So I'm going to focus on this other person. So, what your spirit does is going to be like, he's serious. We don't want this. We are literally serious. This is what we want. And so the spirit will give you and bring you a new person each time. And it's up to you to say, nope, nope, nope. All right. It's not like going on Tinder and going swiping left. No, you actually have to get to a stage where you are either communicating with them and stuff like that. You have a choice. Again, this spirit of yours, everything comes from within. You commanded it, you asked it, but you have to also do your part. We have to stop thinking that the right person will come right away. So you pick whoever comes first. If I did that, I wouldn't be with the men that I am with today, because there were a lot of beautiful men that I was dating. But because I was like, nah, this is not my standard. I want this, this, this. And I kept saying no. And even though there were times where I didn't have nobody and I had to just be by myself and go back to zero and date again, I told myself, what? I am still going to be available. I put myself out there on Facebook dating, Tinder, Hinge, whatever. I tried it all because I'm like, I don't know where he is. But then I stopped at Facebook dating, and that's where I found a match. And we are still talking, and it's been like, what, 4 months? So guys, what I'm trying to say is this boundary that I'm talking about, it's very important. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is going back to believing without seeing, believing without proof. Guys, we have family members, we have friends, a lot of people continuously hurt us, but we are super dumb. We're acting like punks. We think that forgiveness means whatever they did, we have to forgive them regardless of what our hearts needs. Guys, if someone hurt you once, twice, 3 times, I'm sorry, what are they doing in your life? What is it that they're bringing in your life that's actually helping you? Are they actually helping you, or are they bringing hell in your life? Are they bringing heaven in your life, or are they bringing hell in your life? I'm sorry, but no more having faith without action. When someone did something wrong, please give them the chance to do it right. But if it happens again, I am giving you permission to cut that person off. I am giving you permission to find peace in your life, because other people can come to your life and to put disaster. Some people have, we have this saying, you were at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't want people to be like that, especially when your intuition knows more and knows best. When you are forgiving someone and your heart is just like, I forgive you, but I think this is just not, we cannot be friends. That is the most healthy decision that you can have make in your life. Listen, your ego is there to protect this physical body, okay? But your spirit is there to protect your spirit and the physical body. You have to understand this. Okay, understand that. And if you want to know more about boundaries, you can read the book called Set Boundaries, Find Peace. I love that book. That book actually gives you a lot of examples of setting boundaries and stuff like that, and how to respond to these things. Because, guys, you have to really embody this self first standard. You have to now be selfish. Okay, it's not a bad thing to put yourself first. It's not a bad thing to actually have standards for yourself. You are creating this life, okay? When you die, that's when your apocalypse happened. Okay, it's the end of your world. When you were born, that was the beginning of your world. When you die, it's the end of this chapter. But your spirit is eternal. If you want to go deep into the spiritual thing, guys, there's a lot of books out there. I'm probably going to do like a catalog on my website where I give you all these books when it comes to spirituality, money, and all that. So you can go ahead and start learning. Okay? Again, no more believing without actions. Just like how your source, your spirit, is waiting for you to confirm with the action, that means you actually believe, you have faith. That means your spirit is working the same way. So let's not lie to ourselves. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's stop thinking that the other person has a good heart. We don't know its heart. Your intuition can figure out what's going on in their heart. And when you pray to God, just pray for that protection. All right. And the rest, the first thing you do when you wake up, you say a good I am statement. I am happy. I am successful. All of those things, because that's where you feed your subconscious mind, and that's where your subconscious mind is very receptive. All right. So we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about manifestation in the next episode. So this episode, remember, do not have faith in someone without them proving to you that they're worth it. Especially if you blindly trust someone, believe me, it's their action that counts. All right. Always look at the actions, and that is going to be the first thing that you've ever done in your life. Okay. Remember, putting yourself first is not selfish, it's simply a standard. Bye bye.